Hello again, and welcome again to the Workers Now YouTube channel. I'm James Robb. I'm the Workers Now candidate for Panmure Otahuhu in the coming election. And today I just wanted to talk about the Accredited Employer Work Visa scheme and the review of that scheme by Andrew Littles, the Minister of Immigration. Um, uh, Andrew Little ordered this review after reports came to light of immigrant workers being ripped off by the scheme. There have been some revelations of workers living in squalid, overcrowded conditions, like dozens of people living in a three-bedroom house and so on, having to beg for food because even though they paid large sums of money to middlemen recruiters in Bangladesh and India, they've arrived under the scheme and find there's no job waiting for them, and they're in an extremely difficult position. Uh, uh, the accredited work visa scheme, accredited employer work visa scheme, was set up just over a year ago in July last year, and since that time, 81,000 visas have been issued. That's 81,000 migrants arriving just under this scheme, in addition to any other migrant workers, which is a huge influx in a country of 5 million people. Andrew Little says he's worried about exploitation of these migrants, which is astonishing in its hypocrisy, because, uh, well, let's get one thing clear for a start. All workers are exploited. No employer in the history of capitalism has ever given someone a job as an act of generosity. They employ us because they can make more money out of selling the products we make with our labor than they pay us in wages. They get more, they make a profit out of it. That's exploitation is built into the wages system for every wage worker. They don't usually talk about that form of exploitation. They just say that's wage labor. When the big business media talk about exploitation, they're talking about something even more extreme, where workers are exploited more than usual, where they work longer hours for lower pay uh, uh, than usual. I call that super exploitation, and it's real. And super exploitation is the whole purpose of visa schemes like the accredited employer visa scheme. It rests on the huge inequality of wages between the developed world, of which New Zealand is a part, and the semi-colonial world, which includes India and Bangladesh and the countries of Asia and Africa and the Pacific Islands and so on. Uh, uh, they the terms of this scheme are extremely oppressive. They tie workers to a single employer for up to 3 years, which makes it extremely difficult for workers in that situation to fight for their rights, because if they lose their job, then they also risk being deported back to their country, and so it's a major obstacle to union organization among these workers. How do they get people to agree to these conditions? Well, for one thing, it's even worse in the countries where they're coming from. Wages are even lower, and they dangle the prospect of maybe in future being able to become a permanent resident or a citizen of New Zealand and enjoying the higher wages permanently and being able to bring their families over. That's the bait, although most of the workers get sent home after 3 years anyway. Uh, so this is why they set up these schemes. They try to take advantage of the extremely low wages in Bangladesh, and they try to harness that and bring some of that cheap labor into New Zealand for the benefit of the New Zealand bosses. That's the point of these schemes. You don't need a review or an investigation to discover that. What needs to be done? Well, the first thing is that the labor movement needs to fight to end these oppressive visa schemes, which are like a form of indentured labor, tying workers um, to a single employer. We need to fight for full union rights and citizenship rights for immigrant workers. By all means, solve your labor problems by bringing in migrants, but let them come and be paid the same as everybody else and enjoy the same rights as everybody else when they get here. Um, this is an issue not just for, it's not just a question of solidarity with our brothers and sisters from India and Bangladesh and any other countries where these workers are coming from, quite a few from South America as well. It's also a question for workers who are born in New Zealand and do enjoy citizenship rights, because as long as there's a part of our class that is super exploited in this way and paid less, it drags down our wages and drags down our conditions, and it makes it difficult for us to organize and fight for our rights. Unity is our strength as workers. We need to, if we can open the borders for a free movement of labor across borders, then it will um, increase our unity and our fighting strength and be a step towards ending the exploitation of all workers. Thanks for listening. There will be a link to our Workers Now 10-point program at the end of the video. Thank you.